Okay. I'm actually going to unmute everyone, but I will ask that excuse me, you mute the phone on your end. I want people, since I don't have someone to help me watch the chat window, I want to make it easier for people to bring in questions because this is going to be a very question-driven session. I have a short list of topics I want to cover, and then we'll focus on what you want to know. So first of all, for anyone who is not aware, Amanda is not with us tonight because she is in the final days of planning for her wedding, which will be this Saturday while we're all having fun at Powwow. She will be, you know, getting married. And then she will be out all of the following week for her honeymoon. I will also be on vacation, but I'm in town. So if you're having a problem that can't wait until after Thanksgiving, contact me. I recommend calling my cell phone or texting me because I may not be checking email as regularly. The topics I would like to cover, the first is dates versus meetings in Blackpug. There is let me find it. Okay. Let me show you again how I got there. Log into Blackpug, go to the event section, click on calendar, and here's a page that shows meetings, what they call meetings and notices. But this is really where you want to go to create any reoccurring meeting, especially ones that don't require registration. If we're talking about your annual meeting, you know, the district meeting, obviously that's something that you want to create as an event because you need registration, people will be paying money, all of that. But if it's roundtable, if it's your district committee meeting, district commissioner meeting, things like that, this is the place to build them. And there's some advantages to doing it here, but really the biggest reason is just because with the number of events we have in our council, most of them are going to be these reoccurring meetings. And if we can pull, I mean, you can see already there's 374 of them already up here. And just having that level of volume in the event list makes it more difficult for us to find the events we're looking for. So when in doubt, if it doesn't require a registration form, please set it up as a meeting instead of an event. Does anyone need to walk through how to create a meeting?
I do, but I'm not even online visually yet.
Okay. Then I will walk through it, and we'll talk through the steps, and I will go slowly. At the top of the screen, there's this bar that says Manage Meetings and Notices. There's an icon here, looks like a calendar with a green plus sign in front of it. If I click that, it gives me the Add New Meetings menu. And here's where I can go in and create it. And if I wanted to say December 1st, 7 to 9, set up the repeat, monthly, and you can see here it gives me the options. I can repeat on the 1st of the month or the first Tuesday of the month because I made this one on a Tuesday. And we're going to say it's the first Tuesday of every month. Actually, let's do this. Make it a reminder. It's the first Friday of every month, never ends, and it's capital comments. I'll put in a quick description. So here I could set a location. There's not really a location for this because it's just a reminder, not a meeting. As a reminder for everyone here, there is a list that gets built out of meeting locations that have been used before. So if this is a place you're having your reoccurring meetings, it should show up in that list. Put in the URL. And we'll say it's shown on, and of course, not everyone will have access to all the districts, but here I can pick which district calendars it's shown on. So especially for districts that have a lot of events jointly, you can have it appear on multiple calendars. Categories it's shown on, again, as applicable, capital comments applies to all of these. So I will put a reminder on everyone's calendar. And that's how you create meetings and notices. So now if we scroll down, you can see here under December, we see capital comments and it's got the reminder. And oh, I see Prince George's has been very involved with using this. If you can see the screen, Prince George's built out their description for Roundtable. It's got their logo. It's got a description, a lot of information, helpful links, and that's right there in the meeting utilities. So nice job, Prince George's. If we come down here to January, again, you can see the meeting I just created here on the 1st. And there's Prince George's again. James, I see you're asking to be the presenter. What do you need to show?
There may have been a clicking error on my part.
Okay. So that's the quick version on how to make meetings. Any questions about what should be made a meeting, how you set up a meeting, or otherwise how to use meetings?
Aaron, this is Steve Scher from Old Dominion. I don't have a question, but a comment for folks who haven't set them up before. The reoccurring meetings are really nice. You can schedule, say, a meeting for every 4th Wednesday, and then if Thanksgiving's coming up, you can move instances individually. So it's very easy to set up your recurring meetings and then fix any odd instances.
Great. Thank you, Steve. And again, one of the biggest benefits of making them as meetings, besides the extra utilities, are just, I mean, you can see already, you know, the site's not even fully live yet, and already this list of coming events is just getting huge. Once everyone starts putting in all their roundtable and district meetings and OA meetings and everything else for the full year, this screen is going to really fill up. So the more we can move them to that meeting tab, the better off. Next topic, blogs versus pages. This is something I was pushing a lot last week. Just as a reminder, it's when we get to the new site, and hopefully you can see, you know, the mock-up of the site now on screen. WordPress is built around a blog engine. It is designed to handle blogs, to handle multiple blogs, to, you know, you can tag and categorize posts so that it's easy for people to find, you know, everything posted by Prince George's about training. or everything about training and Cub Scouts, and quickly sort through them. Blog posts will become a permanent part of the website. The biggest difference is they're not going to become part of the navigation bar. So I'll come here, we'll go into district pages, let's look at Potomac. Now Potomac has over here on the right side of the screen, excuse me, left side of the screen, having a ambidextrous moment here, where they have their navigation menu. As they start building out new pages, they're going to appear here. Blog posts will not appear here. So one of the tests that I'm recommending you use is for whatever this new resource is you're creating or whatever information you're putting up, is it something that needs to be easily navigated to, that you want your members to easily be able to find on an ongoing basis? Or is this the type of thing that they're going to just occasionally need to link to, will reference, we'll link to it in another page, put it on the Facebook page or in an email, so it needs to be available on the site, but it doesn't have to be front and center. So there's really 3 tests that I recommend you use. The first is, like I said, do you need it to be part of the navigation menu? And if not, then probably it should be a blog post right there. The second is it an enduring, permanent piece of information? So is this something that people are going to be coming back to year after, or is it just a temporary announcement, one and done? It's important this month, but then we're not going to pull it up again. So so we should make it a blog post and put it at the top of our news list. But after that, it can kind of fade away into the background. The third test is, are you, as Webmaster, committing to update this page, revisit it once a year, make sure all the information is up to date, all the links are still good, and all the other maintenance that needs to be done? The maintenance issue is one of the biggest reasons that I prefer content be put up as blog posts instead of as pages, because the more pages we have, the more of them wind up not getting maintained on a regular basis, and that makes the site as a whole, look a little bit shabby. So if this is not something that you're going to be updating on a regular basis, if it's not something people will be looking for year-round, if it's not something that needs to be easily located in the navigation, make it a blog post. If you're answering yes, it does need to be in the primary navigation, you are going to be updating it, and people are going to be looking for it month after month, year after year, make it a new page. Like I said, this isn't the place where we're going to be coming through and, deleting pages that were made incorrectly that should have been blog posts or anything like that. This is our recommendation. This is what we would like to see to help create a consistent level of quality throughout the site. Any questions or comments on that? Okay. Next issue, we're actually going to go over to YM for a second. We're getting near the end of the year, and especially with January 1st being the transition point for our new website, we want to make very sure that there's nothing set up now to take money on the YM site for 2016. More than that, we're getting a lot of pressure to back that up, to even starting now, that there shouldn't be anything left in November or December that's going to be collecting money. There definitely should not be new things added at this point. So I'm giving everyone a heads up that we're getting the request to go through and start shutting off people's access to especially the e-commerce, but then also to create new events in YM. And as you know, with the way YM is set up, that's going to take away a lot of the privileges and ability to pull reports, review past registrations, things like that. So we're trying not to turn off any access for people who have live events coming up in the near future. If we accidentally do shut you down, let me know, let Amanda know, we'll give you your access back, we'll pull whatever reports are needed, whatever needs to be done. But if you try to log on one day and find that you can't get the you can't pull the payment reports anymore, that's why, that's what happened. Contact me. And the last thing on my list, audio is fading out. Okay. I will try to speak more loudly and clearly then. Thank you. The last thing on my list is about account setup, and this is back in Blackpug. We've been talking a lot about this issue of validating events before they go live, of making sure that events are tagged to the correct account if they're collecting money. And just to give you a little bit of the background on that, this is because of pressure the council is getting from our auditors, who are looking at our practices from years past and saying that it's a real problem, that there's this, loophole that we're collecting money which may or may not go to the place the money is supposed to go to. So the reason that, Les and Kent, our CFO, are putting so much pressure on this is they're getting the pressure from the audit committee. That said, where we are moving to is we are working with Blackpug to try to create a basically an approval button that one of the top level admins would have. So when you create an event that's collecting money, you get everything set up, submit it for approval. The top level admins review the event, make sure it's going into the correct budget, and if everything's good, hit the button to let it go live. Until that comes into effect, we have this system where what we're asking of you is when you create an event, before you take it live, inform me, inform Amanda. That gives us a chance to go in and review it, make sure that it's set up to the correct account. And at that point, we'll either give you the thumbs up and you can go ahead, or we will notify you and your DE that there's a problem that needs to be resolved. Here's what we are looking for. The name of the account code for the budget should be an exact match for the event name. So if the event is Potomac District Fall Camporee, then we should be looking at an account code that says Potomac District Fall Camporee. A little bit of reasonable wiggle room for things like if it's Potomac Klondike and we're looking at an event called Winter Rendezvous, that's close enough. We can figure out that's a match. But where we've, as we've been going through setup and as we've been looking at some test cases, where there's been problems have been things like, there was an example like Camp Snyder because they're selling the Christmas trees, where it was set up for the money to go into Camp Snyder year-round projects. And we didn't know that there was a more specific account created for just the Christmas trees. Or something comes up and it shows as Scoutmaster Fundamentals and the budget code just says training. Well, we don't know if that's supposed to go into the general training budget or it needs to be in a more specific Scoutmaster Fundamentals budget. So what we're looking for is that exact match. If it is not an exact match, then Amanda is going to send an email to you, to your district executive, saying, please resolve this with Kent. And once we get approval from Kent that the code is correct, then we'll give you approval to take the event live. There is going to be extremely low tolerance for events that collect money to the wrong account. If this is happening, we're going to have to remove people's permissions until we have a chance to sit down with them, discuss, do some training, and correct the issue. Obviously, accidents are going to happen. Things will go, be set up incorrectly from time to time. But if we're seeing events going live without review, or the account codes are being changed after approval's been given, then that's when access is going to go away. Any questions about that? Okay. Then that's all I had on my list. Turn the floor over to you. What else would you like to discuss? What issues are you seeing with the site? How can I help you? What is a tickler? Drew asks. Okay. Tickler is one of the options over here in the Black Pug under calendar. It's a reminder. It's a way to put something on the calendar. We don't have a good one. I wanted to see if they have a training about this, but rather than try to create one. I don't see one right here. Basically, a tickler is a reminder that pops up automatically, reminding you of something like, recharter time, recharters are due, or, be sure to set up your popcorn sale. So let's set one up. We'll set one up called Recharter Reminder for next month. Oh, excuse me. This is okay, so they're recommending tying it into a specific event. So this is something that if I just want to put in to have as a general reminder on the calendar. Sure. Oh. Excuse me, I'm having navigation issues here. So here we're November, going up to December. And you can see here at the beginning of the month of December is the tickler I made. So if you just want a note that says, on your district calendar, this is the last month to register for day camp, or, get ready for fall roundup, whatever notes you want to be on the calendar that aren't tied to a particular date, and they'll show up right here at the blank space at the beginning of the calendar. So that is tickler. Next question, is there a master list of accounts available? We just sent that around to your DEs today. They should have it. You can check it with them. If there's anything that's not on there, let us know. You also should be able to go in and check what accounts you have access to. Just go into create an event. I don't want to do that right now. Where is my test event? Go into create an event, go to set it up. Under accounting, and here of course I'm going to get the big master list, but you should just see the account codes that you have access to. So if there's something that your district is doing that you do not see, talk to your DE. But they also now have the master list and can share it with you so you can go through and see what's missing. Stan, I don't know why you're not seeing the screens I'm showing. We'll contact me offline and we'll take a look and see what's going on with you. Okay. There are meetings for November 2015 on that list. Are they live in Blackpug? Yes. The question is about the meetings that are on the list for 2015. Some people have started going through and putting their 2015 events on the calendar already. Entirely up to you if you want to have your meetings for this year up here on the calendar so you can just start having everything in one place, or if you just want to start 2016 and move forward, both are acceptable. The only thing we're really trying to get off your membership right now, like I said, off the YM site, are events that are collecting money. Good question, Valerie. Anything else? Can people see them? Yes, they can. Let's see. Who has? Old Dominion has an event. So if we come down here, November, there's District George's meeting. Oh, I see right now. I'm just seeing here we go. There's Old Dominion's District Commissioner meeting. There's Occoquan District Committee meeting on Thanksgiving Day. That one probably needs to be moved. And those calendars are public. If you need help getting the URL for your district calendar or sharing that, send me or Amanda an email and we'll walk you through that, which is my subtle way of saying send Amanda an email because I don't remember how to generate the district-specific calendar links. But yes, they're public. People can view them. They can access them. John asks, how long after January 1st will we have access to YM? Our contract expires the beginning of February. I don't know what level of access they will let us have to information after that point. So really by end of January, plan to have pulled down everything you need. Valerie says, sorry, I'm confused. I thought the system wasn't live until January 2016. That's when the official launch date is for the site as a whole. BlackPug is up and running now. So you can use BlackPug to post events, take registration, collect money, all of that starting today. Mark says, how can you tell if a 2016 event was set up under the current system? I'm not sure I understand the question, Mark. Are you asking if you're looking at an event, like if you go to register for an event? Mark, I guess the two easy ways, and correct me if I'm not answering the right question here, but when you go look at an event on BlackPug, the screen is going to be very different than if you're looking at an event on YM. So if I go into YM and show you this will answer the next question too. Sorry, I'm trying to find the same event on the YM calendar. Okay, so here's the Gathering of Eagles networking lunch. This is what it looks like in YM. This is what it looks like in BlackPug. You'll be able to tell very quickly when you click on the event which one it's in. I'm also encouraging you to look on the back end and see what events have been posted for your district, and just on YM. And if you're seeing things posted on YM, start moving them over. So James asks, can we create a link on our YM site to an event registration in BlackPug? If you look here at the Gathering of Eagles lunch on the BlackPug site, to register, please click here, and yes, that's a link back to the BlackPug site. So that just goes into the event description and takes them over. Mark says, I'm concerned about events that might collect money that shouldn't. I agree that is one of our primary concerns. Take a look on YM, see if you can find events for your district. If you're not sure, contact me offline. We'll go through your district events and see what's set up, what needs to be moved. Winter camporee in January. James, what's the question about winter camporee in January? Just can we create the link over from registration? Yes. So yes, that's exactly what we're recommending people do. And Valerie says, create the event in YM and then add a link to Blackbug for registration. So there's a little bit of doubling up the work right now. People are still going to YM as their primary source for information. We're not really ready to send them directly to the news site yet. So what I'm encouraging you to do is create the event description on YM, but then instead of having registration through the YM site, just paste a link to Blackbug. So when they click register here, it takes them out of the YM site into Blackbug. It's a little bit of extra work on our end. I know, I'm sorry about that, but for right now, that's the easiest way to begin the transition. James asks, can we save HTML from YM to migrate to WordPress? I think the simple answer is yes. I don't know how much custom HTML you have on your pages. I would recommend you move content rather than HTML, just because pasting HTML into a new site, it's, there's going to be conflicts with the styling and with how everything's set up. Things may or may not work. But yes, you can copy. Let me log in here. You can paste HTML directly into the WordPress site. So any custom HTML you have on YM can be moved over to WordPress. So if I go to add a new page in WordPress, where's my clone? Okay, I am clearly hitting the point where I am not familiar enough with WordPress right now to do what I'm trying to do. So I apologize for that. I cannot show it. Here's what I want. Go to new post. Nope, I apologize. I thought I knew how to do what I was trying to do, and I do not. So rather than waste everyone's time failing to find it, the answer is yes, you can paste in HTML directly, but I recommend you focus on copying the text and links rather than the HTML. Any other questions? Okay. Seeing no further questions, like I said, for the next week, I will be out of the office, but definitely if you need anything, don't hesitate to contact me. Call my cell, send me a text, email, but I don't know how often I'll be checking email, so that will not be the fastest way to reach me. Thank you for your help with the site. I'm very excited. We're getting closer and closer, and we're going to start putting up preview access to the site, letting people take a look at it, test out some of the features in the near future is my hope. in just a few weeks, it's going to be time to go live. So with that, have a good evening, and if I don't see you before then, happy Thanksgiving. There it is. Of course, right after he leaves.